All right, so we just got back from the gym. Today was pool. Did some lateral pull downs, some front pulls, some side laterals. Like you saw, I did some shrugs, some bicep curls. All right, so today I'm talking about the 3 ways that I track my progress. So number 1 is going to be the weight scale. Number 2 is going to be measurements. And number 3 is going to be pictures. So let's talk a little bit about the weight scale. All right, so the scale. The scale is and should be only used as a trend observing tool. Don't get attached to the weight, the number on the scale. Like for example, today I weighed 164. That's a high for me. I don't really weigh that all the time. I usually weigh 160 to 159. So today I weighed 164. 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if I would have saw that, I would have been like, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight. What did I do? But if you ask me now what happened, I'm going to tell you, hey, I drank too much water yesterday. And which I did. I drank maybe 2 times more water than I usually do, which is normal, right? I mean, I go through these like day-to-day basis where I kind of want to drink more water for that day, or maybe less water. So I know that I didn't gain 4 pounds of fat in a couple of days. No, that didn't happen. That doesn't happen. So your weight's always going to be kind of like doing this like spiking, going down, spike, go down, maybe plateau, maybe go down, maybe spike back up, maybe go down. If you are in a calorie deficit, that should be the way your weight looks like on a graph. It's not going to be just this straight line of just losing until you reach your goal. It's not going to work out that way. So try not to get attached to the weight. I'm sorry, not the weight, but the number on the scale. Okay, so number 2, tape measurements. So I don't really tape measure all the time, but when I do, I want to make sure that I'm measuring my waist or whatever I'm measuring in the exact same place I'm measuring on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. So for example, for myself, so when I'm going to tape measure my waist, I want to make sure I'm hitting it the exact same spot every single time I'm measuring. So for me, I like to go right above the belly button, maybe like half an inch, maybe a quarter of an inch above the belly button. So whenever you get your measure, your tape measure, you want to make sure it comes around your waist here and exactly right above the belly button. So this is where you would want to measure your waist. If you want to go a bit lower, you can, but it's preferred to go right above the belly button. Okay, so right here is where you should be measuring. And so when you are measuring, make sure it's a straight line. Make sure you're not kind of like bending or moving the tape measure a certain way or having it one side lower than the other. So just try to be as accurate as possible. So make it come around your waist and hit this exact spot here if you can. If you can't, I mean, if you want to go below that or right above your belly button, you can, but just make sure it's consistent. Okay, so picture taking. Besides the weight scale, picture taking might have to be like my favorite way to track progress. Why? Because you can visually see the changes in your body. So you want to make sure you're not taking pictures every single day. Well, I mean, you can if you want, right? But you want to make sure just in terms of tracking your progress, you want to take pictures maybe bi-weekly again, or on a monthly basis, take like a picture to where it's exactly the same spot that you had it, the month before, and so on and so forth. So picture taking is the best in my view, even a little bit slightly above the tracking of weight, because you can see what's going on with your body. You can visually see, hey, I didn't have this vein popping out more than last month, or hey, I can see my top 2 abs a little better in this picture than I could last month, or I can see that my chin or my jaw is looking a little bit leaner in this picture than it was last month, or maybe I have a little more striations on my quad than last month, or maybe I have whatever the case may be. But picture taking is extremely important, especially if you are trying to lose weight, because at the end of the day, it's not really, hey, you're not proud of your weight, you're more proud of how you look. So those are my 3 ways that I like to track my progress on a weekly to monthly basis. There's so many other ways to track progress. You don't have to, weigh yourself every day. You don't have to measure yourself every other week. You don't have to take pictures. You can go by making strength gains in the gym. You can go by, hey, I've been consistently going to the gym for a month now. Let's push another month of going. Or if you don't like going to the gym, maybe you went on a bike ride for 3 days straight and you haven't done that in a while. Or maybe you're drinking water on a weekly basis instead of drinking a Diet Coke or a Coke, or whatever the case may be. There's so many other ways to track progress. And the way I like to think about it is I see everything as progress. So the reason why I like having this everything is progress mentality is because let's say you didn't reach that milestone for that week or that month. Well, since you didn't make it, now you know what you have to do or not to do to make it, right? So it's kind of like either you win or you learn. It's not really, hey, because most of the time it's the weight loss isn't going to go the way you want it to go. Maybe at the end of the month you want it to be 130 instead of 132, and you were 2 pounds off. Well, that's fine. You still made progress. Yeah, you didn't make it to that specific weight, but now you know what you have to do or what you don't have to do to make it. So it's always just a learning process. It's never just, hey, I'm gonna make progress the way I want to make progress, and I want to reach it. And if I don't reach it, then the world's ending. No, that's not. That shouldn't be your mentality. It should always be, hey, I didn't make it. Well, let's readjust what I have to do to make it, right? Regardless if it's weight or measuring the waist again, or a picture or whatever the case. Think of it as everything is progress. Either you win or you learn. Hopefully you guys found that insightful. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for watching.